Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Macrocast, your source for news and entertainment with the Modified Macro Records. We are your hosts. I'm Mattson.
I am Downlow'd.
We are so glad to be here on another glorious Sunday. Well, we record on Sundays, but today is Monday, the 29th, for you fine people. Macro news, not much. We're kind of like on a hiatus right now.
Well, no, so Nick Twist he's been playing out his new track, and he says that there's been some amazing crowd responses. He played it with Alvaro last night.
Nice.
And there was an amazing crowd response. So shout out to Nick Twist because he's really happy about that. And
his track, The Used, comes out on July 13th. So
it's just a great and awesome, just wonderful track. I think I might have turned you up a little bit in the headphones. Do you sound okay?
I sound fine.
Well, whatever you say.
Why do I not sound okay?
You sound weird.
Really?
No, you sound fine. I'm fucking with you. You sound great.
So, let's talk some real world news.
A lot of stuff has happened.
In
the real big blue world.
Well, why don't we talk about that other thing first? It's like kind of morbid.
Old. Well,
it's kind of morbid,
but it's kind of old news too. Okay. So the very first week of June, there was a roller coaster crash at Thorpe Park in the UK, and it was the crash of the Smiler, which left 16 people with leg injuries.
The company that built the roller coaster is now under fire. What did you say? They're called Gerstlauer?
I don't know if they're actually under fire, but they're called Gerstlauer, and they're from Munsterhaus in Germany. But it seems like, to me, it feels like they should kind of be under fire, because this isn't the first of their coasters. Another coaster at a different park.
Wait, do they build coasters in America, too?
They have had coasters in America, yes. But it's mostly the coasters in the United Kingdom and in other places that are kind of like, I don't know, like
less safe,
messed up or whatever.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. The Smiler, excuse me, I was totally wrong. The Smiler is at Alton Towers, and that's like one of the bigger theme parks in the United Kingdom. Thorpe Park is another big one that has Saw the Ride, and it's based on the Saw movies or whatever. I saw a video.
Wait, so which is the one that crashed?
They're both shut down.
Oh, okay.
But the Smiler ride is one of the most like profound incidences of their coasters like screwing up recently. So what happened is one of the coasters like it crashed at full speed into a stopped train that couldn't make it over a loop.
Oh shit.
So yeah, like 60 miles per hour. And one girl she was a dancer, really beautiful girl. She's actually like lost her fucking leg.
Wow.
She not on the ride itself. It's not like her leg just like flew off, but she there was such severe damage to her knee. Like one of the bars in the front like protection part or whatever like broke. And this is like, take a look at the ride, guys. Like actually look at a ride through or whatever on YouTube, and you can see how big the bars are. They're quite large. She said that one of the bars was actually in her leg, like
oh my God.
Broke and was just in her leg, and her knee was irreparable. So they had to cut off her leg. Really crazy. She was a dancer. So Alton Towers has responded in saying that there's going to be reparations made to each of the people that were on the ride.
I'm surprised they didn't shut down the whole park.
Me too, man. I was like looking into it, and it seems like an accident like that would bankrupt a park.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have insurance, but I mean, this girl was a dancer. That's her livelihood.
Well, I mean...
her leg is gone.
And damages, even if she wasn't a dancer, I mean...
Not just for her, for 16 people.
Yeah.
For 15 other people.
That's crazy,
That's fucking
man.
crazy. And this is not the first time that ride has crashed.
So one of the cars wasn't able to make it over the loop, and
it
ended up going back down?
For whatever reason, they sent a completely empty car through, and then they sent a completely full car through right after it.
Oh, so
the
weights were off. So was it...
I mean, one car without any people on it was unable to make it all the way through.
Yeah.
So don't you think, I mean, in like the 6 years that this fucking ride has been open, or 5 years or whatever, don't you think they would have tested that?
Well, I mean, you gotta think that was the first test they did when they fucking installed the thing.
So what the fuck happened?
I don't know. That's crazy.
I mean, the car, for whatever reason, couldn't make it over. I don't know why it couldn't gain enough momentum, but it was just a freak accident. Either way, I mean, no theme park should have to deal with this. Okay, and by the way, I looked up Six Flags as well. Some of Gerstlauer's rides are also at Six Flags parks, and they haven't had any problems. Six Flags hasn't had, like, any problems, any incidents like. Well, I think some people have died on Six Flags rides actually, but it's never been incidents like this. You know, there's been multiple incidents with this very one ride, like with the Smiler.
So. I mean, are the regulations different here in the United States for building roller coasters? I'm guessing...
I don't think so.
No?
No, I mean, well, and either in any sense, like that ride. Okay, the Smiler holds a record for having the most inversions on any ride, so it has more flips than any other roller coaster in the world. Mm-hmm. But it's also broken down many times, and there have been people that have gotten hurt on it many times. So I don't know. I saw the ride, which is a Euro coaster, and this is what Gerstlauer specializes in. They have these coasters that go up these 90-degree angles rather, and then drop down to like an even more than 90-degree angle. So they drop down at 90 degrees and then kind of sink in and go like down. Yeah. So that's their specialty. It's kind of a big deal for whatever reason. I don't know. There aren't very many in the United States. They're called Euro coasters, which look kind of cool. I'd be down to go on one, but. They've had, I don't know, just a laundry list of issues with a couple of them, like at Thorpe Park, at Alton Towers.
That's crazy.
Saw the ride, which I actually saw a ride through on. It looks really sick. Like, it looks immersive. You get sucked in, and it's kind of like you're in one of Jigsaw's like puzzles. You know, there's like a bunch of saws, and like they shoot blood at you and shit.
It's pretty cool.
They say this ride is inappropriate for any children under like 13 years old or whatever, but you can still go on it. You just might be really scared and scarred afterwards. The ride looks cool. I've never seen a roller coaster that has that level of immersion. Yeah. So I looked into some other rides though in the United States, and I saw like. Okay, here's a cool fact. Did you know that Six Flags is based in Texas? The first ever Six Flags park was in Dallas, Texas. It's Six Flags Over Texas.
Oh, really? Yeah. And then they moved it to San Antonio, or what?
No, the next park I think was in New Jersey.
But isn't Six Flags Over Texas in San Antonio now?
No, that was Fiesta, Texas. That is Fiesta, Texas. Okay. So Six Flags Over Texas in Dallas is still the first Six Flags park. It's the flagship park. And it's just funny because I don't think they ever imagined that they would have more theme parks. They were like, we're going to call this Six Flags Over Texas. So it's based... The name Six Flags is based on the 6 countries that have ruled Texas over all of the periods of time. And now we have like Six Flags in all these different states, so it doesn't fucking make sense at all. Okay. It's like Six Flags in California, like 6 people, like 6 countries never, you know what I mean? Yeah. I just thought that was weird. But anyway, I saw this, they have this really cool ride in Six Flags Great Adventure, which was one of the first parks, which is in New Jersey. And it's called Houdini's, Houdini's Escape or whatever. So you go into this ride and you like sit down on a bench and the actual like walls fucking move.
That's pretty cool.
And I looked into how this was made, and it's like you go and you sit in this like large tube, and it's not even a room. It's like as if we were sitting in this room right now, but this room were actually a large tube with like maybe 10 feet of clearance underneath us, and the whole room would just like move around us. I don't know, guys. Look it up. It's kind of a cool experience. There's not any great videos on it. If one of you guys has a good video of it, I'd love to see it. Yeah. Give us some info. Anyway, I'm sure that's enough about roller coasters at this point.
I think what we've learned from this is avoid Gerstlauer rides for now.
For the time being. I think that company should probably undergo some kind of like investigation, or they should test their rides better, man. Yeah. Like the fact that even happened in the first place, like that's never happened at Magic Mountain, like it's never happened. Like most of the time, roller coaster accidents are freak accidents because of human like oversight. Like some kids like, I'm gonna stick my arm out like really far because I want to touch a pole. It's like you're going 80 miles an hour, dude. Like don't fucking do that. Yeah. Here's another like small piece of news. So Disney recently has banned all selfie sticks from all of their parks. Good. Did you hear about that?
No, but it makes sense.
They have a roller coaster in California called California Screamin'. And it's been shut down it was like the past week or past 2 weeks. It was shut down 3 times in 1 week because people were like bringing selfie sticks on the roller coaster, like, hey, look at me. And those roller coasters are not meant for you to they're meant for human arms. Yeah. You know, like stick your arms out as far as you want. But if you stick out a selfie stick and make your arm 3 feet fucking longer, it could be a problem. Maybe not for you, but it might hit a pole. Something like that.
Ricochet and hit someone behind you.
Hit someone in the face. Yeah. Like, you have a camera hitting someone in the face, and that ride does not go very fast. You're going maybe 40. But still, a camera at 40 miles an hour will do some damage. Did you see Fabio's face when he got hit by a fucking goose?
Yeah.
Like, his face was all bloody and shit. I think he killed the goose, too.
Totally.
Fabio has a fucking beak, dude.
All right. Well, once again, avoid Gerstlauer rights for now.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for your afterthought.
Let's talk about this. There was a gay pride parade in London.
Well, wait. There's some big news that happened this last week.
Well, yeah, the Supreme Court ruled that in the United States, all gay marriages are no longer.
They're all legal. It's legal everywhere.
Correct.
That's a big win for the LGBT community.
Yeah. Is that
congrats,
some sort of
guys?
sandwich?
What's that?
The LGBT sandwich?
LGBLT. So I'm sure that there's some place that's going to make that now. It's like an LGBLT, like delicious sandwich.
I wonder what you could put on it.
I just want to say congratulations to any of our listeners that might be in that community. And I mean, it's been a long fight for you guys, and I'm happy for you all. Now you all get to be extremely miserable, just like everyone else.
Yeah,
we're all like married. I'm not married, but. If you can get married like everyone else and just be unhappy.
And it also happened during what is Gay Pride Month, the whole month of June.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and there was a Gay Pride parade in London a couple days ago. The brilliant people over at CNN, they saw some video from this Gay Pride parade. And so here's the story. CNN was reporting that there was an ISIS flag flying over a gay pride parade, that someone was carrying an ISIS flag.
It was just a black flag with white, writing on it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So...
how fucking ignorant is that?
I mean, okay, we looked at it, right? We looked at this video. It doesn't even look close to Arabic. You can tell it's a black flag, and it's got, white pictures of dildos, butt plugs, cock rings, and other sex toys on it.
It's let's get down. This is it's immensely ignorant on different levels.
And then
CNN's it's Arabic.
A CNN ISIS flag spotted at gay pride parade. Okay, CNN. Wow, yeah. When I saw that,
if it was Fox News, it would be way worse though.
Well, Fox News probably saw that and they were like, "There's a bunch of dildos on there."
Well, I mean, they didn't. They chose to not report on it, though.
I mean, they obviously realized it wasn't an ISIS flag.
Don't you guys have better things to report on than that?
Yeah.
I mean, that they're they have to make some kind of negativity out of the fact that there's it's well,
this
if there really were an ISIS
flag. This was in
flag,
London, though. This wasn't in America.
I don't care. If there really were, if it's that's ridiculous, man.
No, yeah, there totally wouldn't be an ISIS flag.
You're totally taking the steam out of the situation. You know what I mean? And be like, oh, look, an ISIS flag. That's not even an ISIS flag. It's someone celebrating the fact that they can fucking put butt plugs in their butt.
Well, I mean, that was legal beforehand, anyway.
No, well, either way. They're like, butt plugs, yeah!
And now you can be married and use butt plugs.
So you better...
but you could be before. I don't know. This is confusing.
Dude, you don't even have to be gay to have a butt plug.
Yeah, totally.
Basically, the bottom line is, you better not print a fucking black flag with, white lettering on it. Because otherwise you're going to get CNN, on your ass.
Well, I mean, they didn't call out the guy or anything. Zoom in on the person carrying it, being like, ISIS members spotted at gay pride parade.
Okay, wait. But I saw, they didn't even see the full flag.
No, they
You just saw, a quarter of it.
Yeah, they're dumb, man. That's just the American media for you.
The media, the media is ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
So.
You want to talk...
I hope we don't talk about Penny Dreadful today.
No, we're not going to.
Yeah, because I watched the last episode of it, and I fell asleep halfway through. So
Memento Mori? Oh, you didn't finish it?
No, I fell asleep halfway through. I was kind of drunk, I think, when I watched it. I was just really tired. I don't know.
It was a pretty good episode.
Okay, let's not talk about it.
I don't know why, but this second season of Penny Dreadful has been kind of not as good as the first one.
Whatever. Let's go on. What's the other? What else? We're talking about real world.
No,
news.
we're done with that. We're going to talk TV now.
Oh, are we really?
Yeah,
okay, so that was good.
Let's talk. Since we didn't talk about it last week, because last week was mainly our E3 coverage. I'm using air quotes there. We're going to talk about the season 5 finale of Game of Thrones.
Game of
There was quite a bit of death in this episode.
Okay, wait. So if you guys still haven't seen Game of Thrones for whatever reason, you might want to fast forward a little bit.
Yeah. If you're not completely caught up, there's going to be spoilers. I'd say you're probably safe to go.
Spoilers all.
10 minutes ahead, probably.
I mean, if you're a fan, then you should have already seen it. What's the deal, guys?
True.
So, all right. So Game of Thrones, everyone got fucking boned.
Yeah.
Like, real hard.
The main person I thought was going to die, I hoped was going to die, did not die.
Ramsay.
Yeah. It was kind of sad.
What a fucking bastard he is.
his woman died.
Good.
The crazy
that was
bitch
like kind of a moment of
him.
redemption for Reek, too.
Yeah. So Reek pushed her off the ledge.
So Alex and I talked about this, though. So, she got pushed off the ledge into some, like, stone ground.
Okay, they were on top of the battlements, which is, like, the top of the castle where you can see what's coming towards the castle, from far away. So Reek pushed her, and she fell into the castle, right? Back.
She fell onto some stone ground, into like the courtyard.
And after Reek pushed her, he like grabs Sansa's hand, and they jump off into the snow on the.
And
other
I was
side.
like, "What the fuck? How is that even a thing? Like, we didn't even really see the snow.
Yeah.
Like, or how deep it was. Like, they should have done some kind of scientific, like, there should have been some kind of like scientific logic there. The snow is, or we could have been like this. The snow is at least 10 feet deep.
We didn't see them after that, so even that much snow, dude. Once it starts to compact, it gets really hard.
Dude, what if they're gonna jump into it and someone's gonna have like broken legs?
Well, hopefully it was like a fresh snowfall. But
I was just talking about this at the bar right now, and I was like, "What would be such a fucking mindfuck if the next season they come in, they're like, oh yeah, they died,
or they're like, or they're cripples now."
Yeah, Sansa's a cripple. We don't know what like how would that I mean, George R.R. Martin's like, yeah, why not? Just sign it off on that.
Let's talk about what about the worst moment for me is when Sansa is finally going up to light the fucking candle in the tower, and Brienne fucking Tarth has been sitting there waiting for weeks.
For months.
Months, dude. She's been out in the snow looking for the candle.
And her squire is like, he's like, Stannis is coming. She's like, yeah, fuck it. Stannis is coming, fuck it. And then literally, Sansa lights the fucking thing right there.
Yeah, so she misses the candle, but it makes a lot of sense for Brienne's character because since we've seen her, she first came along with Renly, and when Renly died, all she wanted was revenge against Stannis.
She's her entire character arc is based on on duty.
Yeah, and
honor and duty. So she's like, okay, well, if this I've been here for months, so if this isn't going to work out for me, and it's just kind of ironic that right at that moment. It's like, okay, it just happened.
It's kind of heartbreaking, man.
I guess, but I think that it was one of the lesser thought out parts of this episode. Like this, I don't know. Some parts of this episode were not I feel like they kind of just wrapped things up for this season. Like they were like, okay, we're done. Like they should have had it one more episode and wrapped everything up in like better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they did a good job. They left a lot of open ends. Well, what about Arya?
Yeah, let's talk about Arya. So, the very first name, everyone knows Arya's got a list. She's checking it twice. I mean, the list of names of people she's going to kill. One of literally the first person to ever get on her list was Sir Meryn Trant, when he killed Syrio Forel.
Sir Merlin Trent?
No, Meryn Trant.
Meryn Trout?
So Meryn Trant has been in Bravo since. He was in episode 9. He showed up there with Lord Tyrell, Lord Mace, and he's Lord Mace is singing songs to the bankers of Bravos.
Okay,
everyone's like, Lord Mace is going to be dropping the hottest mixtape Westeros has ever seen.
What was this 6 years ago?
What? 6 years ago?
When did he first show up?
On episode 9 of season 5.
Oh yeah, but wait, so. Wait, I thought you were talking about he's the first name on her list, so he showed up in like the first season.
Yeah, Meryn Trant. I'm talking about Mace Tyrell, though.
Oh yeah.
So totally. You remember before Cersei was in jail, she sent Mace Tyrell to Braavos.
Yes, I remember that.
To deal with they want their money back that they lent the crown.
So what's going on with Mace Tyrell? Is he still alive?
Well, he must be, but now the Kingsguard who was there to protect him, Meryn Trant, is now dead because Arya fucking killed him.
Well, he was a fucking pedophile.
Yeah. No, well,
not only
was he a pedophile or was he like a sadistic...
He's like a sadistic pedophile, dude.
Yeah.
He was like beating the shit out of those girls.
Those scenes were kind of hard to watch.
Yeah, it wasn't cool, man.
I wasn't expecting that from that guy either. I thought he was just a jackass, but it turns out he's also a sadistic fuck.
And twisted, yeah.
So Arya, she has a mission right now.
Wait, can we talk about how, like... Okay, because we're kind of like... everyone knows she's got a fucking list.
No, but I'm talking about her mission that the many-faced men...
Hold up, dude. So, wait. Before we get into what happened to her, she got beaten by this guy, like, profusely and did not move an inch. Which was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on there? Like, how could she withstand that? She's like... He's like, he breaks the stick on her. He's like, I've got my work cut out for me, I see.
I was actually going to talk about something before that, though.
What? Okay.
Yes, dude. The men of faces, or whatever they're called.
Oh, the men of letters?
No.
Wrong series, dude.
Jaqen gave her the mission to kill the guy at the docks, right? The guy
who is also a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's betting that sailors will never make it home, and he's a shady fuck all around. But she was supposed to kill him. So instead, she dressed up as... she stole one of the faces from the temple.
Uh-huh.
She stole someone else's face so she could wear it to confront Meryn Trant. And that's when he's like beating the three of them with that stick.
Merlin Trout? Yeah, he's beating, and somehow she made her way in there, yeah.
Yeah, so like you said, he's like, I got one work cut out for me.
Leave us. It seems like I have my work cut out for me now.
And then Arya... she removes the face and fucking attacks him.
Dude, it was so gratifying. Yeah. Like, she stabs his fucking eyes out, and he's like, oh!
She stabs him, like, 7 times in different places. Like, one eye, then the other eye, then a kidney.
They were also well coordinated, too, so that he didn't just die instantly. And
she wanted him to suffer.
Yeah, and she made him suffer.
Yeah.
Do you know who I am? He's like,
I'm surprised she didn't just chop his cock off and shove it in his mouth.
I mean, that kind of also would...
I feel like that would happen in the books.
Well, but honestly, I think that that would have been like, trigger. Like, people would be like, no.
The SJWs would come out.
Dude, I mean, I don't know if the SJWs have stopped watching, but like after Sansa's like rape scene, there was fucking outrage in this last season, so... Yeah. Who knows what people would be like? Oh, I'm so done with Game of Thrones. Like, they cut off his dick. I said that I was gonna stop watching a few episodes ago, but the show's really good.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't have been the first dick to have been removed in the show. We know that much.
Well, I mean, and when Ramsay removed Reeks and he's like eating a sausage, he's like, yeah, it was delicious. It's like, the first thought that I had it was a couple seasons ago, I was like, is he eating his dick?
No, he was just eating sausage.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Yeah, that was actually like surprisingly funny scene considering what was going on.
What was Ramsay's like mistress's allegiance to Ramsay though? Because she knew that she was never going to marry him. She loved him, I guess.
Yeah, well, she loved him, and like she wanted to be his wife,
right?
Know?
Okay, great. But like, so why on earth would she work to keep Sansa there? Like, why wouldn't she just like, oh, I killed her?
Because just like Reek, she's somewhat subservient to him. There's a scene.
He's a dom and she's a sub.
There's a scene in like the 5th episode of this last season where they're in bed and she's talking about how like she's not going to get to marry him now, and we kind of see
she gets upset.
We see his dominance over her though.
He fucks her again.
Yeah, and he's like, "You're not going anywhere." Like she knows she's trapped, very much like Reek.
But she's kind of okay with it.
She wants it, but it's just not going her way.
I feel like the way that she kind of played things out though is that she was like, "I'm going to be with Ramsay, and he's just going to use you."
Yeah.
Like you're going to be basically his mistress, and he's going to use you for political power. But he loves me, and that's what she thought. She got pushed over and it went splat. Yeah. She went splat. And the dogs were all barking.
What about... Okay, so we talked about how Brienne left as soon as she heard Stannis was there.
Yeah.
And so after Roose Bolton's armies totally decimated Stannis' what was left of his army, because most of them had abandoned him.
They had, yeah.
And the Red Woman, Melisandre, had abandoned him. She went back to Castle Black. And we see Brienne, and she tells him, about how Renly was murdered, and it had the face of Stannis.
And it gives the appearance that she killed him.
Well, okay, so what I love is Stannis is such a hard ass. He's like, go on, do your duty.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah,
he's like, my family's dead.
Everything he fought for is gone. Nothing matters to him
I think it would be great if she didn't actually kill him, though.
I think he has to die, though.
Well, maybe, but not right there. It's like, I don't know. I mean, if it does happen, I'm not going to hate on the show, but it would be a really good plot twist for her to let him live. He's one of the most relatable characters on the show.
Stannis the Menace.
Dude, yeah, man.
People like Stannis because he's a hard ass, but he killed his own daughter. Is he still relatable then?
He's one of the most conflicted characters in the show, for sure. He killed his daughter even though he didn't want to kill her.
True.
He killed her for the greater good.
But it would have been awesome if he was going to be Azor Ahai, but now we know that's not going to happen.
Dude, it doesn't matter. He's going to be tormented for the rest of his life. I'd like to see him be tormented about it. It would be more gratifying to watch him kill himself because of all the shit that he's done.
Maybe, but I feel like if they leave him alive, he's going to remain a power player, dude. And
how?
I feel like
his entire army's gone.
I know, but that's not how this show works, man. If they leave him alive, he's still going to be vying for the throne.
Maybe.
But I think he should be dead, man.
Dude, they could easily take have another twist. You're subservient to me now.
Yeah.
No one will know who you are. Your entire army has been decimated. The only person who, do people really know his face? They know his banner.
Yeah.
That's the way shit works in Westeros.
Well, very few people know his face. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
But either way, he could grow a beard and she'd be like, you're my slave now. Something like that would be kind of an interesting twist, and then watch him go through another arc.
That? I don't think he'd live like that.
Who cares if he wants to live like that?
No, but I'm saying he'd kill himself.
Yeah, well, what if he can't? What if it's a situation look at Reek?
He becomes the next Reek.
It wouldn't be just like that, but it could be total. It could be a kind of similar situation. Game of Thrones has a good way of turning characters into something else.
Personally, I hope that he's not the character who comes back as being alive, but we'll talk about that once we get to what happened at the end of the show. Let's talk about the Faith Militant, dude. How come we didn't see what happened to Margaery and Loras?
Because we're going to come back. They have to leave a bunch of stuff open for the first episode.
That happened 4 episodes ago. Well, I needed closure on that shit.
Yeah, but that's why they want everyone to be saying that they know that people are going to come back for the next season. So everyone's going to be like, "Oh, what happened?" They're going to come back, and I guarantee they're still alive.
But they're not as resilient as Cersei. I think they probably
maybe that's why we're waiting to see them come back, to see how resilient they really are.
Okay.
Because they haven't been able to play that out. Maybe it was just more ideal for them to leave that gap open.
Will the Queen of Thorns get them out of jail?
No.
No?
I think they're going to be left to rot in there.
Oh man, that's so sad.
I think that Margaery is going to come back with vengeance. No bullshit. I don't think that...
But how if she's in jail?
Dude, I think that they're not going to execute her, I don't think. First of all, she's too big of an actress at this point, and for them to just execute her like that would be kind of I don't know, it'd be weird. To watch her come back, dude, we have to see some kind of gratification. I want to see the High Sparrow get taken out. As much as I'm sick of Cersei, it's kind of bullshit. I hate those characters. I hate the Faith Militant.
So
shame.
So we saw Maester Qyburn. For those of you who don't remember, Maester Qyburn first showed up in the show when Jaime got his hand cut off, and he's not even a real Maester.
Are you talking about Jaime? Jaime Lannister?
Yeah. Qyburn's not even a real Maester, but he came with Jaime when his hand got cut off. He came with him to King's Landing.
He did.
And then he fell in Cersei's favor, and we see he's Cersei's one and only friend. He's the one who goes to her in 2 episodes before that and tells her, he's like, you must confess. It's the only way out of here.
So when you and I talked, you were saying that you want Tommen to die. You're sick of Tommen now.
Dude, okay, you remember when the season first started and I had high hopes for Tommen and Marjorie.
What if Tommen did die, but then they're like, she's still the rightful queen and Marjorie gets out? Mm-hmm. She's still the rightful queen. Like the power wouldn't go to the queen mother.
Yeah.
Like she's the rightful queen. We must let her, she's beloved by the people too.
But if Daenerys ever shows up, Marjorie's out.
Daenerys. That's not going to happen for like another season though, I don't think.
Daenerys Stormborn.
Dude, okay.
Don Marjorie. We're
going to go back to this.
Dorzanti.
Look, Daenerys is basically going to get gangbanged by a bunch of the fucking what were they called? The Dothraki.
The Dothraki. So
I don't know if those
Daenerys
are Dothraki.
Fly away on Drogon, right? And
why was she talking to Drogon? It's like, okay,
she's like, come on, Drogon, she's like, we gotta go home.
She's like, Drogon, at least get me some food. He's like, he's a fucking dragon. It understood that it needed to fly away because it has an emotional connection to her, but it knew that there was an imminent danger there. It needed to get out of there. She's like, well, can you, that's like being like, Dragon, can you go to, like, Wendy's and get me a burger? And Drogon's like, no, fuck you.
And so she realized Drogon needs time to, like, rest or whatever, and so she starts walking away, and then all of a sudden, a Dothraki horde is setting upon her, and she's surrounded.
Also, like, how could, even when she's, like, making her way down there, don't you think she would hear all of the hooves, there were like 10,000 Dothraki descending upon her.
My first thought was, and I was watching it with my cousin Phil, and I was like, she's tripping, right? And he was like, yeah, I think she's tripping. And then later on, come to find out that most people believe that that's a real Dothraki horde. So, I don't know. I thought she was hallucinating or something.
Why would she be? Dude, it's very clearly a real Dothraki horde. That's why she took off the ring and stepped on it.
Yeah, but...
The dragon ring?
Yeah.
She doesn't want them to know who she is
because of her relationship with Khal Drogo, and
maybe we don't know why she doesn't want them to know, but we know that the Dothraki are independent of each other, like the tribes or whatever.
What I was really, there wasn't much development from the second to last episode and that episode with what was going on with Daenerys. We saw very little.
Well, I think that's probably the way it's supposed to be. So
what about Tyrion? He's now in charge of Meereen.
Is he?
Yeah.
They're like the little man can't do anything. So they left him there with the head of the Unsullied,
Grey Worm.
Right. And he was like, I have to stay here with you. But I think that they all end up making a good team. Tyrion is still one of my favorite characters.
And Varys showed up.
And Varys is like, he's proved himself to be badass again.
Fucking Conleth Hill, man. That guy, I loved him on Suits too.
Luckily you have a friend with experience. Varys is obviously not offended by the fact that happened with Tyrion. I think that he knows that he was kidnapped.
Yeah.
It kind of, the show kind of made it seem like he was a little bit, hurt about it.
Varys was going to Meereen anyway. What was funny is Daenerys was surprised that the spy master of King's Landing had any care for her. And Tyrion is like, he's the only reason you even made it out of that country alive,
Yeah.
And it's like he really, he really believes in Daenerys.
That's crazy. I think Varys is a good character though.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of. He's such a minor character. He's like a C character, even not even a B character in Game of Thrones. But we've seen because I feel like the B characters all die, but we've seen so much development from him in the very beginning to right now, and he's the spider,
Yeah.
He knows what's going on. He even said in this episode, he said, I have ears everywhere. Mm-hmm. Not even just in King's Landing. I have ears everywhere. I know what's going on all over the world.
Yeah.
So
he's awesome.
Arguably the biggest. Okay, wait. So back to Cersei really quick. The mountain's been revived.
Wait. We haven't talked about how Cersei got out.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So Cersei was still in prison, right? And she confesses to sleeping with Lancel, which is, who she was banging.
And he is now part of the Faith Militant, right?
Yeah, he's one of, the head guys,
Such a dick.
So when he became Faith Militant, or when he became devout, he told the High Sparrow about everything he did with Cersei.
But why is Cersei only into dudes from her own family? She's straight up why didn't she just bang her dad? Like, she's only, or like Tyrion even, for fuck's sake, she's only into dudes from her own family. Yeah. We've never seen her, like, she probably never even had sex with Robert Baratheon.
I think she did, but it was like...
She was thinking of Jaime the whole time.
No, Robert Baratheon is always, like, drunk, and, you know...
He's like, oh!
So it's, like, sloppy, ineffective sex that they have.
And, like, probably really fast.
Yeah.
He's all 400 pounds of him passes out on top of her, like, while he's heaving.
I miss that character, man. Season 1 of Game of Thrones,
sweaty, bloated, heaving Robert Baratheon. Trigger.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So she got out by confessing, and she was made to walk through the streets.
The walk of shame.
Back to
the Red Keep.
The Red Keep. With no shoes, no nothing, and completely naked.
Yeah.
And there was like a total like breaking point, and it seemed like the walk was going to be like fine until halfway through some guy's like, cunt! And then everyone's like, fuck yeah, you're a cunt! And start like they throw like feces at her. They're throwing apples and like rotten food, and like
her feet were like bleeding
for whatever reason. That really didn't really.
Well, she was like, I don't know.
I mean, it wasn't like she was walking on like stone. She was walking on fucking like cobblestones, which doesn't really, I don't know. There wasn't like anything sharp there, so it didn't really make sense to me. But what about all the people, like all the women that jumped out in front of her and they're like yeah, like
they're like, I'm not only half as much as whore as you,
and like the guards from the Faith Militant just bashed them, like killed a couple of them. I almost feel.
So the woman.
Shame.
Yeah, let's talk about Shame Woman.
Shame Woman.
So Cersei has been telling this woman since she got in jail, the last thing that woman is going to see is Cersei after she kills her.
I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, so now this woman walked behind Cersei the whole way, ringing a bell. Ding, ding, shame! Ding, ding, shame!
It was ding, 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 shame. Shame.
And she kept doing it.
Shame. Ding, ding. Shame. Shame.
Pretty much.
Shame.
Dude, everyone kept being like, brother, fucker!
The whole time I was watching this, though, I was like, how is that? Like, I have to give props to the Shame Woman for keeping a straight face while doing this the whole fucking time.
Okay, well, for those of you who don't know, that scene was created using a combination of shots of Cersei's body double and Cersei from the neck up.
So you did not actually see
Cersei naked.
What's her real name? You know every actress name.
Lena Headey.
You didn't actually see her naked.
Yeah.
I saw in the comments some people were like, that ass looks like it's 20. It's because it is.
But the body double and Lena worked very closely. There was an article where she was talking about how...
so she's pregnant right now.
Yeah,
like in real life.
I think so. I think that's what they were saying, the reason why she had a body double.
Okay.
And also, she's a much more higher profile actress than when she started Game of Thrones. So once you get to a certain level, you kind of can command that sort of, you know.
Well, Game of Thrones is such a big show now. I think that anyone, if you're on Game of Thrones, it's like, okay, like, you know, it's a big deal.
But I mean, she's done shots with her nude before.
Yeah,
so
totally.
It's not like
you could totally find it if you wanted to.
Yeah, it's not like she was like, I don't do that. I don't do that. There was something going on there.
There was nothing going on there.
So my favorite scene is like when she walks into the Red Keep and Maester Qyburn like puts something over her shoulder.
It was like a quilt or some shit.
And
she's still covered in shit.
And then a giant Kingsguard walks up, and it's the moment a lot of people have been waiting for since the Mountain died, and Qyburn was like, I can bring him back to life. The Mountain is alive again, and he's a subservient zombie. It is fucking awesome.
He's taken an oath of silence until the
enemies of the crown have been destroyed.
Which is bullshit. He probably just can't talk. He's like, oh, brains.
Right? He's like the Solomon Grundy of Game of Thrones.
Except Solomon Grundy can talk.
Yeah, but he's like...
Grundy smash.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the one part of this episode that has really, like, the biggest, like, tearjerker. And this is kind of like a lead back to Stannis and Melisandre. Everyone thought that Stannis was Azor Ahai, and now people are saying that it very well may be Jon Snow.
For those of you who don't know, like, I don't read the books, so I didn't know this until I looked into it, but Azor Ahai is like the second coming of the Red God, the fire god that Melisandre worships.
The Lord of Light.
The Lord of Light. And
Lord of Light.
Like you said, she believed Stannis was the second coming of the Lord of Light.
She was wrong.
She was wrong. But now she's at Castle Black. The brothers of the Night's Watch, Sir Alliser, even Ollie himself, killed Jon. They stabbed him. Like, everyone was like, for the Watch. And I was like, oh no. Everyone wants Ollie. They're calling for Ollie's head, man.
The kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should die. So I think that that what's going to happen, and I hope that Jon isn't dead forever, because he's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope that Melisandre brings him back. He's not a zombie, but he's just badass.
I mean, we've seen the power that the Lord of Light has to restore people. Look at that one time, like, Beric Dondarrion has died like 7 times or something.
Really?
Yeah. Do you remember when the Hound fought Beric Dondarrion and he had that flaming sword?
Is he? Oh, wait. He's the guy from the cult of, like, the Lord of Light.
Yeah, well, he originally wasn't from that cult. In Season 1, when Ned is Hand of the King, and after King Robert dies,
yeah,
Ned sends Beric Dondarrion to go kill or capture the Mountain.
Okay.
But the Mountain destroys his army and his force. So then he ends up getting with the Brotherhood.
So we've only seen him like once since, and that was when Arya was with those like 2 kids. The one kid who makes like cookies or cake or something like that.
Not Lamy. What the fuck is his name?
I don't know, but he made like cake.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Here, take the cake with you," and they were like, "This is delicious cake."
He's like, "Well, the key to a good pie is it's all about the gravy."
I hope we see him again.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool. But okay, so I hope that Jon comes back. Another theory has been that the leader of the White Walkers revives him.
The Night's King.
Is that what he's called?
Yeah. Have you heard the story behind that guy?
No.
He was like the 88
ADHD.
No, he was like the 88th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Oh,
so
really?
that was like 8,000 years before Jon Snow. The Night's Watch has existed that long. And he
So what number is Jon Snow?
Like
50,000?
In the thousands. I don't think it's that high. But that guy, he saw a woman like on the other side of the wall, and apparently it was like the first White Walker ever or something. And like he fell in love with her, and he turned into a White Walker, and he's been alive for thousands of years.
Dude, almost a parallel between him and Jon Snow.
Kind of,
like Jon Snow fell in love with the wildling.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, maybe, and he looked directly into the eyes of the Night's King when they're like, you know,
and the Night's King brought all those people back to life.
Yeah. Which was so badass. He just like lifted his arms, and they all like stood up or whatever. That was like a moment, and it's kind of like the show kind of underplayed it too. I saw an artwork where he's just standing there with his arms up at his sides and all of like the White Walkers around him, and Jon Snow's looking at
him. The painting, kind of. That guy was commissioned to do one for each episode.
It was actually pretty fucking chilling. I mean, it's something that you only get a glimpse of it in the show, but when you actually get to look at it, and the way that he drew Jon's face with like, and everyone in the boat with fucking terror.
Yeah.
You know, you get to see like, and like the power behind that White Walker.
Yeah, he really is scary.
So,
what I like,
he's badass.
So that guy who's commissioned to draw one of those pictures after each episode, it's like, are you talking about the one that has a quote on it too?
No, this one didn't have a quote.
Oh, okay.
I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, so he did one for the last episode, and it, you know, normally most people would expect that it'd be Jon Snow, right? The death of Jon Snow, and with the quote.
Because he does one for each death.
No, for each episode.
But the one's a death for each episode, because if there is
one,
yeah.
But
there are some that have kind of like kind of obsolete deaths or like arbitrary deaths that you wouldn't really even notice.
Well, most people would expect it to portray the death of Jon Snow, right? With the quote like "for the Watch" or something. But instead, it's Stannis, and it's the quote is "Go on, do your duty." So, does that mean like people are taking this as like
as
evidence
that he's actually dead?
No, that Jon is coming back. Because otherwise it would have been John in the picture, is what they're saying.
But at the same time, like, this guy doesn't really know either, I don't think. Like,
true.
I think they're kind of keeping him in the dark about that. Like, even if he does sign an NDA or something like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're
only 3 people who know where it's going are George R.R. Martin and D&D. They're
D&D,
yeah, they're the only ones who know where the shit is going.
I mean, it is as much as you might hate it is a possibility that Stannis is not dead. Like, they didn't show his actual death on screen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he may not actually be dead either.
True.
I don't know. Like, they're just like, okay, do it. Like, go with whatever you feel for this episode. And that's what he went with.
Maybe that's the death that affected him most.
I think, he's an artist. He can do whatever he wants.
True.
So, I feel like all of those Night's Watchmen that killed Jon need to get their comeuppance.
I mean, Sir Alistair has needed a fucking comeuppance since season 3,
Comeuppance.
Yeah.
Comeuppance. Is this like the word for comeuppance?
He needs to get his... Yeah. Do we want to talk about Silicon Valley now? Because we kind of... we spend a lot of time on throws.
Yeah, people have, like, fast-forwarded 10 minutes like we asked them to. They're like, holy shit, we're still talking about that.
You had to go another 10 minutes, probably.
All right,
sorry.
So we'll, Silicon Valley. What a fucking great season this was.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Silicon Valley. Now, but, okay, so a lot of people have been complaining that this last episode did not end on a high note, like the first season.
Yeah.
This last episode ended on kind of a sour note.
Yeah, it like, we thought it was going to end on a high note. Warning, spoilers. We thought Richard was going to, get his company back. Everything was going to be all great. But Monica and the fuckheads at Reviga have taken him out as CEO.
Richard, you have given me a high that I've only felt when I was inhaling butane gases and drinking. I was like, oh my god.
I was hoping he'd become like the permanent in-house legal counsel for Pied Piper.
Well, we don't know. He might still do that. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Every character is written so well in this show, and I mean, I have to just give them props. Like, I don't know who it is behind it, if it's Mike Judge or if he's just got a fucking like gangbusters team writing this like every character. Like, they really get all the characters. I have to say, what the fuck is his name? I keep forgetting his name. Oh my god, the Satanist. Guilfoyle. God, I always forget his name. He is always the guy with like a solution.
Yeah.
And like in the group, Ehrlich is always the asshole. I'm so glad that Russ Hanneman is out of the picture now.
Yeah. Well, but the whole reason that Richard is not CEO anymore is because as Hanneman is out of the picture.
Well, yeah, okay.
He sold his board seats to the people at Reviga.
But good, because, like, I mean, honestly, look, he fucked Richard on every step of the way.
No, but at least Richard was still CEO.
Yeah. I mean, and so I saw some comments where people are like, good, Richard's fucked up a lot. Like, it's good for him to just be back to the coding or whatever. I honestly think that it really sucks because he should be CEO. Does that mean he's going to get paid a lot less?
He still has his board seat.
He still has his board seat.
Yeah.
But he's just not CEO.
Yeah.
I think that the next season we're going to see... obviously, it's been a big success for Pied Piper. We're going to see a lot of stuff happen, but he's going to be trying to gain that seat back or something.
I love how Richard told them to delete the thing because he thought they were going to lose.
It was like a nonstop problem thing when his phone dies.
No, I love the scene, where his phone dies and he's like, oh shit, I got to get home and tell them not to delete the fucking Pied Piper. And so he's running home and like taking a bus. And
he kicks his keys into like a ditch.
Great. Yeah.
And then he runs up to some guy. He's like, hey, I need to use your phone. I need to tell him not to delete Pied Piper. And the guy's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
He's like, get the fuck away from me.
He's like, Pied Piper? I don't even know what that is.
The best part was all the guys at the house were about to delete the thing. And they're like, wait, we can't delete it just yet. We need to do this.
Why don't we go get an orange from the neighbor's tree? Hey, Guilfoyle, they were like, Bachman, that orange has a little bit of a bruise on it. He's like, oh, so they have to go get a better one from the middle of the tree.
And then right when Richard walks in, he's like, did you delete it? And they're like, yeah, we deleted it. And he's like, oh shit, it didn't work. And
it didn't work because of your stupid algorithm, Dinesh. He's like, no, run it again. No, don't run it again.
It's your shit code, Dinesh. No, it's your shit hardware, Guilfoyle.
But see, like that's like some great characterization right there, because even in the very end, like, they're still bickering at each other. No, run it again.
Yeah, like, let's delete it.
And he's like, no,
don't fucking delete it. Yeah.
You know, if you guys still haven't tuned in to Silicon Valley and you're listening right now, one of the best comedy shows I've probably ever seen.
I recommend it highly.
It's written so well, and I mean, it's so. What's her name? Monica, or she lost her seat too, didn't she?
Her board seat.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to take her out of it.
Well, they voted for her. That's one. Her vote is for Raviga, so she's one of the votes on. So she. I mean, what's her boss's name, which is totally like anal, and
I can't remember her name.
She's really weird, but she was like, no, we now own 3 board seats, right?
Yeah.
So that's the majority, and hers is included there.
I wonder if the only way to get her off the board is to like.
I mean, she owns a board seat herself, not the company, right?
No, I think she sits on the board for Raviga.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that because she said at one point
Raviga had 1 board seat, dude, and Monica was the person who sat at it.
But I thought she said that she had like invested in the company herself.
No.
She had. Yeah, dude, at one point in this she said that some of her money was in the company itself too.
I don't think so.
Yes, that did happen. She said, that's why I'm rooting for you guys. That was at either the very end of the first season or the very beginning of the second one.
I don't think so.
She put like $10,000 into the company.
Really?
I think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
If you know, let us know.
Leave a post in the comments, and let us know.
Either way.
Anyway,
I'm
Silicon Valley was great.
3.
Season 3 is going to be good.
We have to wait just as long as we do for Game of Thrones for Silicon Valley.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like worthwhile though because of how good the show is. Mike Judge said that writing each season is like writing an entire like a bunch of movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's like, I mean, how many episodes were there? 10?
10. Yeah.
He said it's like writing 10 different full-length movies.
I'm glad they bumped it up to 10 because they started with only 8.
Yeah, I'm stoked. The next season should be good. Each episode has had at least 1 or 2 like great laugh out loud moments for me. So that's more than I can say for many other episodes.
True.
And oh shit moments too.
Yeah. I really like that show.
The moment when like in this last season, one of my highlights is where they're like putting out the plot points for like that guy dying.
They're making a SWAT.
Yeah, they're like he dies, I bang his girlfriend, and he like notices it, which is totally...
and they're like, is that a strength or an opportunity?
They're like, well, he was like, that was. Would you believe it if that was here before we got here? Dinesh is like hitting on her so hard, and she's just not interested. Yeah. Oh yeah, Dinesh, she's totally into you with her tongue all the way down that guy's throat. Guilfoyle's hilarious, man.
So,
and it's funny though because Guilfoyle is totally Dinesh's foil in that show. So the name is kind of appropriate. They totally just made that role for him, didn't they? Or did they make the role for Dinesh? They just came up with that role for Dinesh.
I can't
for what's his name?
Yeah, for Kumail.
Yeah.
I think he had auditioned for all of the roles.
They all auditioned for Bachman.
Yeah, and it ended up being T.J. Miller. But
which is a good choice.
But Kumail had auditioned for all the parts, and they liked him so much that they wanted to like make their own character for him.
And some guy was like, "We should totally just have a Satanist coder."
Yeah.
And so they called him Guilfoyle, and Guilfoyle, but I mean, maybe the name is kind of like a reference to that. He totally is Dinesh's foil. Like they're bitching about each other's code.
Yeah.
He's always like ragging on Dinesh, like with that, Yeah. Dinesh tries to hook up with his girlfriend. Okay, I'm down. She's like, oh, dude, that's awesome. All right. Anyway, enough about Silicon Valley. Let's move on.
Do we want to talk about this? I don't know. All we saw was a 10-second teaser for Fear the Walking Dead. Not really much in there.
I mean, it looks like The Walking Dead.
It looks
different characters. Is it Shane?
It's shot totally like an AMC show. Like when I don't know.
Well, no, it's not shot totally. It's shot like The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is The Walking Dead is not shot the same way as Mad Men. You know?
I kind of think there's a lot of similarities between all the way all their shows are shot. Like there's a very realist element to the cinematography.
Okay, I agree with that. But I feel like The Walking Dead is like it's got its own thing. It's kind of gritty. It's more gritty than these other shows.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like none of them try to do crazy stuff with the camera. They just focus on really solid shots, you know?
It's almost like they're not using really amazing cameras either. They're going for cameras with the most realistic depth.
Yeah.
Like they're not using like a red I don't know what they're using, but it's not like cinematically like gorgeous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Or you know what? It may be their color correction.
It might be
because
that.
it's all very like it's kind of flat.
It's got like earthy colors in it. All of it does.
Even Mad Men does.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Either way, I'm excited to see more.
That too, yeah.
Well, I want to see more before I commit to watching it.
Well, I mean, if you like The Walking Dead, it's kind of like that show. Watch this if you like The Walking Dead.
Well, I mean, but what if I don't like this one and I still like The Walking Dead? Is that not a possibility?
I mean, it's kind of... I don't think so, because the reason that you like The Walking Dead now is because of the characters and the storyline or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance that both of these shows are going to cross over at some point.
But I mean, like, I liked Breaking Bad, and I still haven't finished watching season 1 of Better Call Saul.
But okay, is Saul really like a strong enough character to carry on a show? Like,
people love that show, man.
I don't think I personally.
Have you watched it?
No, but I personally don't think that Saul is a strong enough character to carry on a show on his own. Breaking Bad was its own thing, man.
It's Bob Odenkirk, man. Like
I'm not talking about the actor. I'm saying the character.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying the fact that it's Bob Odenkirk kind of
sells it for you,
makes it so he's able to carry the character a little bit. You know, I don't know. I've watched the first 2 or 3 episodes there. It's okay. It's well written.
I've started watching. Okay, so I was looking for something to watch, and I started watching Blacklist on Netflix recently. And I have to say, I really enjoy this show. And the reason it's totally kind of a procedural cop show. They totally have these moments where they're like doing those like I know that I work here kind of thing. But like, why are you telling me that? I know that I work here. But James Spader is such a fucking good actor.
Yeah.
And the way that he's just being James Spader, because if you have seen Avengers: Age of Ultron, he plays Ultron, and his his mannerisms and the way that he acts are very similar to his character in Blacklist. Except
I think that's what was awesome about Ultron, is because James Spader brought those human elements of other characters he's played into Ultron.
In Blacklist, he's very much of like an upscale, like kind of like really dangerous guy, but with like lots of class and really smart dude. And I don't know. I mean, the writing on that show is surprisingly good. For an NBC show, I mean, I'm not going to hate on NBC in general. Like,
I mean, come on, NBC. You fucking canceled Constantine, which was... I'm not a huge fan of Constantine, but you canceled it just because the ratings weren't as great as you'd hoped they'd be, which is kind of bullshit. And now they've canceled Hannibal. I don't watch Hannibal, but from what I've heard, it's the best show NBC has ever made.
I've watched the first season of it.
You don't like it?
I'm not a fan.
I think it's got kind of a cult following, to be honest.
It's really fucking twisted.
Yeah.
Like, that show is really twisted. I actually stopped watching it because I almost couldn't handle it. I was like, this is like, I've seen like Dexter and all that shit, but like there's no like gratification in watching that show, really. Like, it's just totally fucked up. And like, some parts are I don't know.
They canceled it a week ago, less than a week ago.
I mean, I could see it has a big following. There's a lot of people that are really into it. I just don't. It's very, I mean, and I'll give it this. It's very true to, like, Thomas Harris. You know, he wrote Hannibal, and the Hannibal Lecter character. I don't know why Hannibal had to be, like, German, which is kind of weird.
It's the dude who played Le Chiffre in fucking Casino Royale.
Oh, yeah. He did. I'm so used to Anthony Hopkins being Hannibal Lecter, though. But,
yeah.
I mean, the character, like, the Hannibal Lecter character
I'm just used
is
to
really
Anthony
gross.
Hopkins being Odin now. He's Odin, just officially.
No.
Yeah, he's Odin, dude.
I ate a liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Like, dude, I mean, he's a very
I know.
He's a fucking actor that's made his mark, you know. I mean, he's Odin, but I don't even think of that.
I was kidding, man.
Him as Odin. He's like an afterthought in those movies. They're like, well, let's just cast Anthony Hopkins as fucking Odin. They could have easily cast like Sean Connery and it would have been just as cool.
Yeah.
He'd be like, Thor, how are how are things going down on Earth? I subscribed to this subreddit recently called Shubreddit. It's SHUBREDDIT, and it's just things that like the way that Sean Connery would say them.
Yeah,
it's a really cool subreddit.
Check it out, guys.
But I'm not a huge fan of Hannibal though. But Blacklist, I would recommend watching, and it's still going. They've renewed it again.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't really disagree with them for discontinuing Constantine. The writing on that show wasn't very good.
No, yeah, but I feel like
nothing about that show was like exceptional.
Let me explain to you why that pisses me off. Is NBC's like, all right, we wanna make a show that's based on a comic book, right? And someone was like, okay, let's make Constantine, and NBC's like, all right, that'll be great. And then it's the only like comic book related show, or even halfway like nerdy show they've ever had, and then they cancel it after one season because the ratings weren't good enough. Like I feel like that show could have been good enough. I liked the lead. I felt like he was a good Constantine, but like you said, the writing was just terrible.
I mean, Constantine is a strong enough DC property to be able to... It should have its own show and be able to hold its own, but also the first season kind of just didn't make sense. Like, they should have introduced... Like, there are way cooler storylines for them to work with, instead of they were like... I don't know. It just didn't work for me either.
Yeah, we've talked about...
It was okay.
We've talked about why we don't like Constantine and why we...
Speaking of comic book shows and DC properties, Alex and I watched the... No, we didn't.
Why would... Dude, okay. Just segue, I guess.
I mean, doesn't it kind of make sense to just segue?
No.
Okay, I won't do it then. I just won't segue. Because Alex has, like, the fucking guidelines for the show or whatever in his computer. I don't know what...
Dude, we were going to talk about... Okay.
We can always bounce back, man.
Dude, we were going to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and what they're planning next season, and then we were going to talk about DC shows and go into DC movies right after that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Go ahead.
No, let's talk about.
No, it's fine. Here, well, I mean, we've already talked about what the. It's all good. I don't care. It's not a big deal. So, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
What's going on with that? I have no idea about what's going on with Agents of
S.H.I.E.L.D. You saw the season finale for season 2, right? And Coulson's like telling Skye how she's going to start her own team or whatever. So basically, they've confirmed that it's going to be the Secret Warriors, which was a group like kind of similar to the Avengers, but they work in secret. They're called Team White, and they were like...
I mean, wasn't that a part of the last episode? It said there was like Secret Warriors. It said that on like the folder that he gave her.
Yeah, but
it was like kind of an Easter egg, but
kind of. But
you had to look for it.
Well, in the comics, the Secret Warriors are led by Nick Fury and not Coulson, which is cool.
I don't think that Coulson is even a big part of the comics at all.
No, he's not. Like, he was a fan favorite that came out of the Iron Man movie.
Coulson is actually a character that Marvel is kind of like grandfathered into the comic universe through the cinematic universe, similar to Harley Quinn in the comics and the DC universe.
Well, I don't think they expected like his first appearance to be so well received, especially when he had like a very small part in a already blockbuster movie.
It was kind of the same thing with Harley Quinn. I think they were just like, we're gonna have her just be the Joker's sidekick for a little while, and people were like, no, we like that,
Yeah.
So, all right. So the Secret Warriors. I was thinking about this actually the other day. I was like, I'm kind of excited for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to come back.
Yeah.
Just see what's going on. But I don't know if I'm going to watch from the very beginning. I think that it's another I'm so used to watching several episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm just going to want to devour the whole thing. So.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea, to be honest with you. The only thing is
their first episodes are kind of slow.
The only thing is, you've got to watch out if you're interested in it. Is the movie tie-ins, and sometimes I don't know if there's going to be a movie tie-in this next season.
Is Ant-Man already out?
No, Ant-Man comes out in a couple weeks.
In a couple weeks,
yeah.
I thought it was already out. Well, all right. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. sounds good. We're going to see a lot more action in this next season for sure, as far as the actual superhero, mutants go, or whatever they're calling them. Inhumans?
The Inhumans, which they're way different from mutants, because they're Kree-human hybrids, is what the Inhumans
But Inhumans are also a separate entity in the DC, or in the Marvel Comics as well.
Correct.
They're not mutants.
No. They're powered people, but they got it from Kree technology.
So, I mean, the mutants themselves, is that like, what are they calling them?
They usually call them gifted. Like, when gifted usually means mutant in the MCU.
They're gifted and talented.
Or enhanced. Like, when they... what was it? In Age of Ultron, the Cap is like, there's 2 enhanced on the field now, and it was Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Yeah.
I've stopped watching Agent Coulson. Or not Agent Coulson, Agent Carter, by the way.
You didn't get through it? There's only 8 episodes.
I'm literally on the last episode, and I'm just so bored of it now. I'm just like,
it's kind of boring. Yeah.
I don't know. It's been good, but I know you only see the Howlin' Commandos like in
well
one episode.
It's well made. I'll give it that. Like, everything on it looks really well. I really like the feel of the show.
It's well, yeah, it is well made. I'm not gonna lie. The threats don't seem that real in that show though. It's like, like they're like, oh, okay, this doctor, he's Russian, and he's like, he rubs his ring.
Oh, that's Dr. Faustus, dude.
Really?
He's a major player in the Marvel comics,
but he doesn't seem. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's not that like he doesn't seem that dangerous to me.
They kind of.
And I saw what you were talking about. We talked about this on the podcast a couple weeks ago. You were like, so we follow another girl who kind of went through the same thing as Black Widow, but she's not. She went to like the dark side.
Yeah, you know? Which is what they intended for Black Widow. She just, she broke out of it. She broke free.
And this girl is like, I'm just like, okay.
But you see the conditioning, like, place that they come from.
Yeah, and that was cool. I mean, that was the episode with the Howlin' Commandos.
Yeah.
And you see Agent Carter, like, they really drill into your head. They're like, she's a woman. It's like, okay, we got it.
Everything...
Like, it's the 50s, we get this, like,
Yeah. There's a little too, like, I understand that sexism was rampant back then, but it kind of detracts from a show when that's all, like, when you're hammering it into someone,
Yeah.
Yeah. But real quick, so the Secret Warriors were created, like, in the comics, they were created to fight a Skrull invasion. And we have not seen the Skrulls in the MCU.
Skrullix?
No, you're not familiar with the Skrulls, are you? Do you know who Super Skrull is? The bad thing is that, does Fox own Fantastic Four, too?
Yes.
Okay, so Fox owns X-Men and Fantastic Four, and they also own some other shit, which includes Super Skrull.
And Deadpool.
So Super Skrull is, like, the ultimate Skrull, and the Skrulls are a race of people just like the Kree, except they have like shape-shifting qualities.
Skrull?
Skrull.
Oh, Skrull. Yes, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so they have like they're green skinned. They have like shape-shifting abilities.
When you said the Super Skrull, I was like thinking of like a Skrull with like
Skrulls.
I was thinking like of like a wrapped up Skrull with like legs.
No, the Skrulls.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah, so Fox owns the right to Super Skrulls, but not to Super Skrull, but not the Skrulls as a race. So I think it would be awesome if they started to introduce the Skrulls. And I mean, the Kree and the Skrulls have been at war for forever.
I'm just so over this whole I wish that Fox would just sell.
Yeah.
That's the one downside to all of the Marvel properties is that we're never going to see it, like, flushed out in its entirety. We're probably going to see, like, a new Iron Man, new Avengers thing come out before Fox actually gives up the rights to it.
But do you think before
it'll be 20 years probably?
I think they'll finish their MCU phases before shit ends.
That's what I'm saying. They'll finish this whole like first thing and then start over again, and we'll see it like with what I mean.
Well, okay, so right now
we'll be like 40 years old by the time that happens.
Ant-Man is going to be the official end of Marvel's Phase 2, and the next movie after that, which is I think it's Civil War. Or no, Ragnarok.
Spider-Man has been confirmed to be in Civil War.
Civil War. We're also going to be talking about who the confirmed cast is for Spider-Man, the actor who's going to be playing him. Well, we were going to talk about who was in the Secret Warriors. I don't know.
Who is it?
Is
it anyone that anyone would know?
Probably not. They've announced. Well, the Secret Warriors is really new, man. Like that comic barely was created like 7 years ago.
Let's just rush through it for Marvel fans.
Yeah. So the
guys
members
might know who we're
that they've
about.
stated will be on the show is going to be Slingshot, and she's a woman. I think I'm not sure what her power is. Oh, both her arms are severed by the Gorgon, and she's temporary. Oh no, that sounds like something from the comics.
Okay, wait, guys. By the way, Okay, go ahead.
She can run at superhuman speed and bounce back to the point where she began running. That's why she's called Slingshot.
Great power, girl. So, hey, I can go back to the same place. So the character, I mentioned this on an episode or two ago where I was talking about, we were talking about Apocalypse. What's it called? It's not Age of Apocalypse.
X-Men Apocalypse?
X-Men Apocalypse, that's right. We were talking about that, and I mentioned that I was at some bar and like drinking, and I talked to this guy about like this villain that was in the MCU, and like I couldn't think of it, and it's Blackheart.
Oh, okay.
And he's a demon.
Yeah.
So it's not. I don't think that he's even like in the same realm as X-Men. I think that he battles the X-Men a couple times, but his father is like a huge villain as well.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly who it is.
I know who you're talking about.
He's a demon. I think he may be a Doctor Strange villain.
Okay.
Because he deals with all the like the paranormal and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Doctor Strange has begun filming as well.
Yep. Real quick, the other two is Stonewall, which I think Stonewall was a
general in the Civil War.
No, he was a mutant at one point. I think he was on the X-Men, but this is a different Stonewall, and he's the son of Carl Creel.
Carl Cox.
Yeah, Carl Cox.
DJ Carl Cox.
And the last one they've said is Manifold, which is Eden Facey, and he has teleportation type abilities and stuff.
Okay, cool.
He's kind of cool.
All right.
Let's talk about...
Feel good about that.
DC TV.
Great.
We watched a Supergirl trailer.
Yep. That's what I was going to mention. I was mentioning this earlier.
Yeah.
I'm... In watching this, I'm no more excited for the TV show than I was before. You gotta admit,
it's a better trailer than the first one they put out.
But now it's still... okay, this quite literally, like, in the text, it's like, she's just a regular girl. And it's like, oh my god, why are you, like, from Krypton?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I still want to watch it.
Jimmy Olsen is a good-looking guy.
I really do still want to watch it.
What's up, girl? You Supergirl? Dang. We should go out on a date.
Yeah.
It's like, she's like, yeah, let's do that. I'll bang you into my bed.
Oh, great.
like, into the bed. I think that having sex with Supergirl would just be so... Like, she would just, like... If you ever had Supergirl, like, on top, like, in a cowgirl or reverse cowgirl position, she would just, like, be riding you and just, like... If you're in a high-rise apartment, like, you know, where you are in, like, Metropolis, you just, like, fly down, like, 8 stories. And, you know, she's, like...
Well, I mean, she's got to have some control over
Kara, Kara, we can't do this again. You broke my pelvis, dude.
You shattered every bone in my body.
Including my biggest bone.
He's like, Kara, I need your help to pay for my medical bills.
I can't. Who does she work for? Wait, does she also work for...
She works for Cat Grant, dude.
But is that the Daily Planet?
No, it's another news agency, I think.
Wait, what? Okay, wait, what's the Daily...
The Daily Planet?
What's the one from Spider-Man?
The Daily Bugle?
The Daily Bugle, that's right. Why? That's just so confusing that they both have a daily thing.
Well, I mean, one is Spider-Man and one is Superman. It's pretty easy to keep apart. I
can't do it, dude.
I mean, I always think of J. Jonah Jameson and the Daily Bugle, right? And then you think of Clark Kent and the Daily Planet.
Oh, J. Jonah, yeah. That's right. Clark, yeah, I can't even talk, right? I'm having stroke, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's ruthless. Yeah, I'm not very excited about it. Still not like, and they still okay. So we were watching it, and there's like a moment where they bring in like the alternative rock again, and you were like, I promise, dude, it's not like this the whole time.
It was like 10 seconds of it, and then it went back to like interesting
of like shitty indie rock.
I don't know. I'll watch it. If you know,
hey girl,
I'll be the one to let you. I'll be your guys.
You're super. I want to take you on a date. That's not how the song goes.
I mean, honestly, can it be worse than Gotham?
Oh man, that's a tough act to follow.
Right? I doubt it'll be worse than Gotham.
Dude, I saw this like article recently where people were like, Gotham has better ratings on television ratings than The Flash or Arrow, or like they were like, people might love The Flash and Arrow or something like that, but Gotham keeps butts in the seats. I was like, oh, that's so cringeworthy too. Like just
on Fox maybe, because fuck, like. Dude, come on.
People are watching online, man, for Flash and Arrow, too. I mean, they're watching in general.
And CW now has on-demand services. You can watch those shows for free.
Gotham is just okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hate it. I mean, I
hate that there's no Batman. It's like... that's the worst part about it.
I put it right there with, like... It's like a step above Constantine.
Yeah, barely.
I mean, I don't know. I've said this several times.
You guys know our thoughts on this. Let's talk about Suicide Squad.
They're all dead.
Jai Courtney, who plays Captain Boomerang, has stated that, I don't know how you measure that these days. I haven't seen him since we started working out of character. Let's put it that way.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, okay, I was about to get to that. He's talking about Jared Leto as the Joker. He's saying how, like, he hasn't even seen Leto out of character since they started filming. And
so what, he's like robbing banks and killing people in LA right now?
Well, people are like, is he taking this too far? Like, is this going to be another Heath Ledger?
No, come on. Dude, like, who knows how he's even gonna, like, portray the joke. Okay, first of all, the Heath Ledger thing was, like, his own portrayal of the Joker, and
I feel like
I'm sure that he's taking different steps to, like, get to that point, you know?
Yeah.
He's portraying the Joker differently, too.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be the same,
obviously, yeah.
The same fucking, like, as everyone said, dog chasing cars Joker, like, trying to kill himself, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that was very much the case with that Joker. I think this one's going to be different. I mean, he drives a fucking, like, purple Lamborghini.
Okay, I'm hopeful that that's not his car and he stole it or something. Come on.
He stole a purple Lamborghini with, like, green lights on the bottom.
Why not?
Okay, like, that just seems like a big matter of, like, circumstance. Like, I mean, he's like, of course, like, he would take it if that's, like, right there. He's like, I like the colors or something like that. But at the same time, it's like, is that really necessary? Like, I don't know.
I'm kind of going to reserve my full judgment until after I've seen this movie.
It might be cool. I mean,
I saw some pictures of Will Smith, like, in full Deadshot garb. Not, like, his pimp suit, but actual Deadshot, like, his suit. And it looks badass. I think so. And I think Harley looks okay. She looks a little too schoolgirlish, but...
Harley is totally based on, like, the New 52 Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So she's... And also, I've seen a lot more photos recently of Harley Quinn that do look similar to what they're doing in the movie. I saw this photo of a couple of frames from the new Harley Quinn with, like, Poison Ivy, where Poison Ivy's totally tripping and she's, like, hooking up with Swamp Thing.
What?
Yeah, and so Poison Ivy and Harley, in case you don't know, have had, like, a relationship ongoing for, like, the past 10 years. Like, they hook up and shit.
Yeah.
And so they were in a hot tub in, like, one of these frames, and there's, like, a huge bee that's flying over them. And Harley's freaking out. She's like, "What the fuck is it?" It's Poison Ivy's hallucination, and somehow Harley's in it. I haven't read the comic, so I can't actually give backstory. But she's like, "What's going on with that huge bee or whatever?" And the bee like ends up in the hot tub with them, and she's like, "It's chilling with us. It just wants to pollinate, baby." And the bee like starts doing all these cheesy fucking pickup lines. Like, there's 10 cheesy pickup lines or whatever. It's like, "Hey, are your pants from outer space? Because your ass is out of this world."
Oh my God.
So on and so forth. But
there's also a big
really well written.
There's also a big interaction between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy in the new Arkham Knight game. I'm going to talk about that once we get to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk.
I'm excited to see Suicide Squad. It's still such a long way away.
Yeah.
Like, that movie's so far away. You know, so, I'm sure it'll be visually stunning, though.
It's not that far. It's actually less than a year away now.
They're not done shooting it yet, though.
No, they're not.
I mean,
David Ayer has said that he promises nothing has been spoiled at all. He says everyone should expect way more than all the... Because, you know, considering this movie has had a lot of, like, leaks and, like, all sorts of shit being shown on the internet... That
it's all promo.
Yeah, I feel like they know what they're doing, and we're gonna be in for a treat.
David yesterday. David ayer.
Okay, so someone posted this article of a couple DC super teams that they feel should have their own movie.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Young Justice.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
I mean, come on. I can't say yes enough.
Yeah, I mean, dude, come on, like. I mean, fuck, man. They should just have a Young Justice TV show, and that would really flesh it out. Because a movie might not even be good enough to flesh out the backstories of all the characters. Like, do like 2 TV series and then do a movie.
Yeah.
That way we see like all the characters. Do the movie. Like, I know that DC's doing their own movie thing, but do the movie with the same characters.
Yeah.
Like, get some good up and coming like teen actors. They don't have to be like in like 14.
No.
Like I feel like all the characters in Young Justice are like 16 through like 22.
Yeah, except for like I think aren't a couple of them younger.
Like what's his name? Roy is much older. Roy's like 24.
But Beast Boy's like 15 or 14.
Beast Boy's in the Teen Titans.
No, he's also in Young Justice.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
What?
Yes.
What are you talking about? In
the second season in the TV show, in the animated show.
Beast
Boy is in the entire second season of Young Justice.
I don't remember that, but I'm talking like the way that they should do it, in my opinion, is okay. So they did the second season of Young Justice with a bunch of characters. Like, they ought to do Young Justice the way that they did the first season with just the base crew.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they should do Miss Martian because that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it would make sense if they have Martian Manhunter in the world. If they don't have Martian Manhunter, then people are going to be like, why?
Yeah, why Miss Martian?
And we don't even like the way that they did the show is so perfect. Like, we didn't need to see any backstory for her. Like, we didn't need to see her flying around in space or whatever. We saw her spaceship, which was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like the idea behind Young Justice is you already know who all these characters are. So I mean, you know who Kid Flash is, you know who
Robin is.
I think like the way that they introduced it too was for kids who like they may not have known who those characters were, but they just still bought into it. Mm-hmm. Like you know who the DC like properties are.
Yeah.
And you see their mentors, throughout. Like, oh, okay, that's Robin. There's Batman. Batman's reporting to all of them. Martian Manhunter's like, this is my niece.
This is my niece, Magan.
And
Kevin Michael Richardson as Martian Manhunter is the best.
I watched actually a couple of episodes of Young Justice again recently with Mr. Twister. She's like, hello, Megan. It's Red Tornado testing us. The one problem that I have with Young Justice is Superboy is like overly... In the very first few episodes, he's overly broody.
Yeah.
He's overly like, oh, Martian, like Miss Martian, whatever.
Well, he hates life. He's like, I'm a clone who's 48 days old. I hate my life.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That would be a great show, though.
What about the Bat family? Like, the entire Bat family?
I mean, they're going to have to do, like...
It would take a lot to make something like that
Well,
happen.
we would have to see, like, an Under the Red Hood storyline.
Exactly.
Like, we'd have to see that happen. We'd have to see, like, a Killing Joke thing happen. Or
especially because you got to tell Barbara's story. And like,
or Long Halloween, at least. Like, something like that. They're going to have to tell a couple of Bat stories before we see the whole Bat family.
Yeah, I mean, considering... Okay, so this picture right here, it's got Batman, it's got Dick, it's got Tim, it's got Jason... And it's got Barbara. And Damian.
Okay, yeah, and Damian, so that means we have to see Court of Owls.
Yeah.
Like, we've got to see a Son of Batman.
But they could do it differently. Like,
It's got... Dude, they can't fuck up the stories,
No,
though.
yeah.
Like, the stories are all so important, And, I mean, look, if Dick is already Nightwing, then we've missed all of the Dick stories.
Yeah.
The Dick stories. Yeah, but... And also, like, Tim has a bunch of great stories, too. What's his name? Jason has a bunch of great stories. It would just be tough. That would be a great TV show. I feel like instead of doing just... Like, why... I don't know, man. Why think so big and do movies when you can... Like, DC has these great TV show ideas, Like, their stories are so great. Do a movie after you've done the TV show a couple times.
Yeah.
So people know who... Like, do 3 seasons of the Bat Family TV show and then bam!
I wish, man. I don't think it'll happen, though.
DC has their shit together on
What about the
on
JLA?
And it's so much more infantile than Marvel is at this point. Like, we could see some shit happen. The JLA, a JLA movie is going to happen.
Like New 52 JLA. Like Martian
Not
Manhunter
Justice
and
League.
Green Arrow.
You're talking about JLA.
Justice League of America, which they work for Steve Trevor and Argus.
Yeah. They were like, in Justice League in the comics, they were like, Green Arrow, yeah, this guy, we can't have him in the Justice League.
Yeah.
We already have one human dude, and he's already like, I don't know, indecisive or something.
Yeah, that's fucking Hal Jordan, who's like, dude, we already have one normal dude over here. What, like... Come on, we don't need another normal
And
dude.
Batman's like, whatever. I'm not normal.
Dude, Batman...
I'm not normal, I'm Batman.
Everyone in the league should be afraid of Batman, because he's got plans to kill all of you fuckers.
Yeah, I think a JLA movie would actually be really tight.
Especially since it seems like they're doing a New 52 lineup in the Justice League movie, it would only make sense to do JLA.
I agree with that. I think that a JLA movie would be good, and also we've seen who's in the JLA.
It's led by Martian Manhunter and Green Arrow.
Yeah, but we've already... Okay, so we know who Green Arrow is. Like, general audiences will know who Green Arrow is just based off of the show, Arrow.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, who else is on it, though? Is it Stars and Stripes?
I feel like...
Hawk and Dove or some shit?
No. It's a lot of people who were formerly part of the Justice League, like, in the pre-Flashpoint continuity, you know? The Justice League in New 52 is just much smaller. They don't take on as many members, which I kind of don't like. It's like the one thing that bugs me.
I'm looking for like JLA and New 52 just to see what their lineup is. And I'm not getting any of it. I can't see, like, it's only pulling up just the Justice League.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Did you type Justice League of America?
I put JLA.
No, that's not going to do it.
Justice League
of
America. New 52. Alright, here's a photo. Okay, so yeah, we have stars. We got Green Arrow, Hawkman.
Vibe?
Green Lantern, but it's Simon Baz.
Yeah.
Catwoman, Vibe, Steve Trevor, and Katana. That's doable.
Yeah.
We all know who most of these people are. We don't know who
Steve Trevor and Katana are already going to be in the Suicide Squad.
Honestly, they probably have to omit Simon Baz as Green Arrow because that would be really Green Lantern. That'd be really confusing, and they'd have to tell the whole not Blackest Night, but the whole New 52 Green Lantern story in order to like bring him in.
Yeah,
you know. So, and also, if like, how can you do that if you don't already have Guy Gardner and John? John. I was going to say John Stewart. You know. So okay,
the Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
What's another one? Dude, actually, they say that in the comic.
Those were kind of it. A bunch of the other ones were. Yeah, you sent me one of those frames, one of those panels that has that joke.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. Yeah. The rest of the teams they listed were kind of bullshit because they listed like Red Hood and the Outlaws and like. Nightwing, and I was like, what? You can't list the Bat family and then separately list Nightwing and Red Hood.
Look, I think what a good story would be is if they already did a couple Batman stories with Dick, do like Grayson as a movie.
Yeah.
Like he's got his own series right now where he's like off with Huntress spying on people and shit.
I would be kind of read Grayson #9.
Was it good?
And it connects with Batman 41. In it like a really subtle way, and it was kind of sad.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's sad.
But was it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Was it worth reading?
Grayson?
Would you recommend Grayson?
I mean,
did that kind of open up your mind to actually reading the series?
No,
or checking it out.
No, I read the first issue like when it first started because I was like, oh, this is probably pretty cool, and it is good. The main reason I read #9 though is because I knew there was a reference to Batman 41. And I'm caught up with Batman, so yeah.
Okay, so real quick, you have also read a little bit of Green Lantern.
Yeah, I started reading the New 52 Green Lantern.
What did you think of that?
It's pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed.
You read the very first like volume, right?
Yeah, the first volume. It's called Sinestro, and it's all about like Sinestro becoming a Green Lantern again, and he makes a ring for Hal because Hal was kicked out of the Green Lanterns.
And it's not a real ring. It's a ring. The Sinestro is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful Green Lantern that's ever lived. Yeah. So he's got like the power to create a ring just based off of the light of his own ring, which is unheard of.
I mean, he at one point in the volume, he duplicates one ring into like 40 of them.
Yeah.
For all the prisoners
they were on Corrigar.
On Corrigar, yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think of Sinestro as a whole after reading that?
It was pretty good. I mean...
The character, though.
I've always liked Sinestro.
I mean, I feel like Sinestro was the fucking star of that, like...
Yeah.
Of that whole Green
I don't like the
thing.
way Hal is drawn. He looks like he's like 10 years old.
There was one like... What's it called? One part at the very end, which was like really bizarre. It was like the whole thing was drawn really well up until the very end when they decided to like start drawing him in fucking watercolor or some shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on right here? Or a pastel or something.
And you know how I feel about people smiling in the New 52. The smiles are terrible.
So are you going to continue reading?
Yeah, I will.
Green Lantern stuff?
I need to start with Volume 2. I've also been reading some more Justice League Dark as well.
What you could read as well in tie-in with that is the New 52 Green Lantern Corps.
Which is like a whole other series, right?
Well, but it all ties into what's going on with...
Yeah, I'm guessing the same way, Batman, Batgirl, and all that shit ties together.
Basically. Except, so you get to see not just what Hal Jordan's dealing with, but also what's it called? John Stewart and Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
Did you see it? I guess not. I thought that Black Hand was a part of that.
No, it's like the Guardians are doing they brainwashed Ganthet because he spent too much time with other species. So he lost his he wasn't able to separate his emotions from his decisions or something. So now they're talking about some third Lantern Corps. Not a third Lantern Corps, but their third attempt at Space Police. I'm not sure what's going on there. I haven't
right.
Yet.
Yeah, totally. Because they had the Manhunters, and then they had the Green Lanterns, and then they had the.
Now they're going to try something else. So I haven't seen what
you had asked. You had asked why Hal Jordan has lost his ring.
Yeah. So basically, it doesn't say anything about that. He's back on Earth already, and getting shipped from Carol. He wants to be a pilot again, and she's like, "No, we can't. That's not going to happen."
Well, so Hal is seen as one of the. I don't know. He's irresponsible. One of the most unruly Green Lanterns. Yeah. All of the Earth Lanterns are considered to be unruly and irresponsible.
Even John Stewart? He's probably the most level-headed.
John Stewart's the only one that's not, because John Stewart was actually considered to be part of the Alpha Corps, which is and this is part of the pre-New 52. Actually, it's part of the New 52 as well.
It may have carried over. Yeah.
It did, because in the New 52, you'll read about it, but the Alpha Corps gets destroyed at some point. But John Stewart was actually considered to be part of the Alpha Corps. So the Alpha Corps is the HR of the Green Lanterns. They're
internal affairs.
They're totally that's what they are. They have a different oath, and they police the Green Lanterns. So if you were to use lethal force on someone other than a member of the Sinestro Corps or something like that, then you would get taken down. If you do something illegal, you get taken down by the Alpha Corps and you get stuck in the science cells with the rest of the criminals.
Yeah.
If you choose to run, they can kill you. So they have a lantern that's built into their chest, which is super crazy. Instead of if you were to become if they were you've been chosen to be part of the Alpha Corps, they do alien surgery on you. Mm-hmm. So they rip your body apart, and they take your heart out. They stuff wires and all kinds of shit down your throat. It's really brutal. There's a bunch of frames of it in some of the Green Lantern lore, and it removes all emotions from you. So you get infused with Manhunter technology. You're a Green Lantern and a Manhunter, but basically lose all of your humanity.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty wild.
That is crazy.
John Stewart was considered for that, though, so he is the most grounded. Probably, and you know what? Actually, Kyle is probably the best Green Lantern, though.
He's the Earth most Green powerful, Lantern. Probably.
He's the chosen one.
Yeah.
He had what's it called? The I forgot what the actual name of it is, but it was inside of him. The actual green power beast.
Yeah.
Was inside, he was the host for it, the same way that Hal at one point was the host for Parallax, and so was Sinestro.
Yeah. I also, the Anti-Monitor has appeared in Justice League number 40, and he's going to be going to be the next villain in that. I still haven't read Justice League number 41. I need to.
I haven't either. Wait, so you saw Darkseid's daughter?
Darkseid's daughter?
Yeah.
Was that an episode in issue 40?
Yeah, because that's when it's revealed that it's the Anti-Monitor, and you're like, "Oh shit!" And he's like, "This is how I'm going to destroy Darkseid."
Yeah,
and they're like, "Well," he was like, "How would you plan to destroy the darkest or the most powerful being in the universe or whatever?" And he's like, "I have his it's his daughter."
Yeah,
he was like, "I have some help." He has Metron right there from his chair.
Metron is on the Mobius throne, or the Mobius
he removes him from the Mobius chair,
which is
he said it was impossible to do it.
The Anti-Monitor originally sat on that chair.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they talk about. And then he became the Anti-Monitor after that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he was originally... They imply that he was originally a new god.
Yeah.
Metron is a new god.
Uh-huh.
But he said, I can't be removed from this chair, and the Anti-Monitor removed him from the chair.
Yeah.
So that's like crazy.
Anti-Monitor's crazy powerful.
So wait, but it's kind of weird though, because in Batman, and like spoiler alert, in Batman died.
Yeah.
Or is he? So is it still Bruce?
At the end of Endgame, do you want me to tell you?
I mean, I'd like to know if it's still Bruce or not. Don't give away too much.
In Batman 41, Batman is not Bruce Wayne.
I had heard that.
It's Jim Gordon. And so you know that suit that we saw? Remember how there was a new look for Superman and a new look for Batman? And that big cyborg suit with bunny ears?
Yeah.
That's what Gordon's using right now to be Batman.
So, I mean, Bruce Wayne is done forever. No? They're going to revive him.
And in Grayson number 9, Dick is like, he keeps calling Batman, and he's like, Bruce, you need to answer. You're starting to scare me. And
that's why it was sad?
Yeah, because Dick is just trying to get a hold of him, and he can't.
Okay, so Dick wasn't even... Oh, that's... Wait, but Dick was... in number 40, Dick, fought the Joker, and he was like, Grayson? Remember he takes off the hood, he was like, everyone will know that you're Bruce Grayson? You know?
No, yeah, that was something else.
But it was Dick.
Yeah.
Dick was being Batman.
Pretending to be Batman.
Man,
he's also been Batman before.
The Joker was fucking awesome in Endgame, yeah.
Yeah. I still didn't like Endgame more than Death of a Family, though.
I mean, the Joker's just so different. He was more brutal in Endgame, though.
Yeah. So he was more of a threat in Endgame.
Do you think that the Joker is done forever now?
No.
He'll definitely find a way to
Especially considering the way they left it, the Joker's not done forever.
And the way that they've been saying that he was, immortal.
Yeah, his blood is infused with, Lazarus Pit.
But they said that he always has been. That was the whole thing from Endgame. Maybe
that's how he survived. Who was it? Acid then, man.
Wasn't it Alfred who was like, I've seen we saw photos of the Pale Man. Well, maybe the Joker was going back in time though, because in Batman, we saw him get pushed. The Red Hood got pushed into the vat. Maybe that wasn't even the Joker to begin with.
I think it was.
I think so too. But if that was the case, then he wasn't the Joker underneath the Red Hood. He was like a normal person.
But maybe he already had that. Maybe his cells were already comprised of that shit, you know?
But he was the Pale Man from the past. They had photos of him from the 20s and the 1800s.
There's some continuity issues there.
They have to retcon all of that shit.
So speaking of Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is rumored to be playing Thomas Wayne.
Who is that?
He played the dad in Supernatural, Sam and Dean's dad.
No, he can't be fucking
Thomas
Wayne.
Dude, he looks a lot different than when he was in Supernatural. He's a lot thinner now. You know?
I don't think that he'd be a good Thomas Wayne.
I don't know. It'd be pretty good.
Dude, they've got to cast Sean Connery as Thomas Wayne. Listen,
He's too
Bruce.
old, man.
Bruce.
He's way too fucking old.
There's probably better options.
Yeah.
You know who would kind of be a good Thomas Wayne is what the fuck is his name? Jeff Daniels, I feel. He was the guy that was in Iron Man, right?
Jeff Daniels?
Yeah, he was he was in Iron Man and he was Tony's dad's friend. Remember?
And he was Obadiah Stone?
Yeah.
Is that Jeff Daniels, dude?
I don't know. Do you know who I'm thinking of though?
Yeah, I know.
I think that guy would be a pretty good Thomas Wayne.
Jeff Daniels is the guy from Dumb and Dumber, though, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're thinking of Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges!
Yeah, I was like, what?
Oh, yeah. Well, trust me to get the names wrong.
Yeah.
But I think that Jeff Bridges would be a good Thomas Wayne. You don't think so?
His look is off, man.
Dude, with a mustache, bro? He was in.
He's too much of a hulking.
Look at his picture in True Grit. Dude, Thomas Wayne is a total hulking guy. Bro, he's huge.
No.
Yes. Okay, think about when they go to the alternate timeline and Thomas Wayne is a fucking.
And he's Owlman?
No, he's Batman.
No, he's Owlman, dude.
Okay, wait. Flashpoint when he's Batman.
Yeah, in Flashpoint.
And he's bulked, dude. Mm-hmm. He's the dude is yoked, man.
But that's when he was training to be to be Batman, though. Regular Thomas Wayne isn't like that.
What about Jim Caviezel as Thomas Wayne?
He's kind of too young, man. He's like the same age as Ben Affleck.
Jim Caviezel?
Yes!
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Ben Affleck's almost like 50, dude.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I swear.
Jim Caviezel... wait.
Which one are you looking up?
Jim Caviezel's 46.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ben Affleck is 42. So he's not almost 50.
Dude, Michael Emerson.
No.
Yes.
No, dude.
Why not?
God damn you. Quit trying to cast Thomas Wayne.
Michael Emerson is old enough to be Thomas Wayne.
Oh, man.
That would be so bizarre. You know who Michael Emerson would be good to play like is like the doll maker.
Okay, yeah.
Or Toy Man.
I'm down with that. Toy Man, for sure.
Honestly, he could probably even do a good penguin. But unless we're thinking of like the British penguin.
Like from Arkham Knight?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Arkham Knight, man.
I'm down.
So, I picked up
I have not played this game at all.
You haven't, but I've played. I'm 70% complete on the entire game.
You finished the story already.
Yeah, I finished the main story.
Let's try to not spoil too much for people because maybe they also want to.
I won't spoil anything from the main story. How about that? Well,
no. I mean, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it a little bit. But I mean, in case you're planning on playing it, because I know a lot of people are also in the same boat as me. They haven't had the chance to. Playing a video game is a lot different from watching a TV show. It's just not as accessible. So, give us your overall thoughts on Arkham Knight. Like, what do you think? Good, bad?
It's my favorite Arkham game yet. That's for sure.
Well, I showed you a bunch of Easter eggs from it, and they've definitely put a lot of thought into this game. Like a lot more thought than the previous games. I feel.
I agree with that. Yeah. Everything feels a little bit more fleshed out.
I saw they have a lot of different characters in this game.
One of my favorite things was being able to every time I could play as a different character, I took full advantage of that. Playing as Nightwing is so fucking awesome.
Really?
And I love the fact that whenever you're playing as one of those different characters, there's an option to you can kick your opponent up in the air as Nightwing, and Batman will come and finish him off. You know?
Oh, that's dope.
And then you'll switch back to Batman. But playing as Robin was also really fun. That was Tim.
Which Robin is it?
It's
Tim.
Yeah, it's Tim.
He seems older though.
Yeah, he seems a lot older. He's a full a
full grown man.
He's a full grown man still wearing a Robin costume.
Okay,
but it's not. There's no legs showing or anything like that.
That would be so bizarre, like hairy ass Robin legs.
Playing as Catwoman, also very satisfying.
Did you play as Harley Quinn?
Yeah, I played the entire Harley Quinn DLC, and so what's awesome about that is. The game starts with Batman trying to rescue Poison Ivy from Scarecrow. Scarecrow's the main villain of all of this.
Okay.
It's not Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight is a villain, but there's much more to Arkham Knight. And I'm not going to spoil anything.
There are other villains, too, though, in this game.
Yeah. One of the... you can take down all the villains. So far in my jail cell, I have Two-Face. Okay, so once again...
Is the Joker in this game, too?
Once again, this game takes place over one night. You know how all the Arkham games have?
Yeah.
It's literally one night, the whole thing. So, fear gas, right? Joker may be dead, but he's not dead in Bruce's head, you know? The Joker still exists. So, yes, the Joker's there. He's very awesome. At one point, you even...
did Mark Hamill play the Joker, too?
He voiced the Joker in this one. At one point, you are so fucked up as Batman that you think you are the Joker, and the Joker has hold of you, and the Batmobile turns into a Joker-mobile. It is fucking awesome, and one of the ultimate moves you can do with the Joker-mobile is called the Killing Joke. A lot of people didn't like the Batmobile stuff. They felt it was kind of forced on you, and I agree. There were some situations where I was like, oh, I wish I didn't have to use the Batmobile here. But overall, they added it in really well, and everything feels really polished about it.
Is the game really difficult to play?
There were some hard parts for me. I played it on normal. It wasn't that hard.
So you have do you have Solomon Grundy?
No,
no Solomon. Ra's al Ghul?
No.
Clayface?
Okay, so you know how Talia dies in Arkham City?
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts, literally at the beginning of the game, man, I'm exploring GCPD, right? And there's the evidence room, and they have evidence from a lot of Batman's rogues, And one of them was like Talia al Ghul, and it was like one of her swords or something. And if you click it, Batman's like gets all emotional. Yeah, it was awesome.
So there are a lot of Easter eggs for other characters as well in this game. I guess there's no Clayface though, right?
No. One thing I will say is
all the main rogues though.
If you save all the side, like you could do just the story missions, right? You could do only the story missions and leave everything else till after. And I kind of did a mix of that. I did a little bit of the story, like the side stuff, but I did mainly the story first before I went back. And so Arkham Knight, right? He's like Scarecrow's second in command. He's leading the armies, like Scarecrow's armies. Scarecrow has an army of drones, like UAVs, drone tanks, like all sorts of drones.
It seems kind of out of character for Crane.
Which is why he hires the Arkham Knight to manage all that shit.
Okay.
And so Arkham Knight is in charge of the militia, which is like assaulting the city at all ends. One of the islands is there's so many drones you can't even take the Batmobile there at first because it would just get destroyed. But what I loved was I saved a lot of the side stuff till afterwards, right? And since you've stopped Arkham Knight, no surprise there. I won't spoil anything else about that. But instead of all the people still acting like Arkham Knight is in control, the dynamic of the game changes, and all the militia is now being controlled by someone else, right? So after you take out Arkham Knight and before you stop Scarecrow, Scarecrow hired someone else to take over the militia. And even after you stop Scarecrow, this guy's still coming for you. It's Deathstroke.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
that just totally makes sense.
Yeah, so
it's probably even more brutal.
Dude, when I first realized that, I was like, holy shit, Deathstroke is in command of all the armies now, and he's coming for me, and he's like, every time you die, he's like, it's a shame the car had to go, Bruce. I was looking forward to giving it a paint job and making it my own.
That's dope.
Yeah. Overall, man, there's like a Hush storyline, too. You get to see Hush and all that.
That's dope.
Everything about this game is fucking awesome. It's definitely my favorite Arkham game yet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I look forward to playing some of it.
Yeah.
Or at least, I might even just watch a playthrough.
I've also played some of the Red Hood DLC as well.
Oh, there's Red Hood in it too.
The Red Hood DLC I got as a pre-order bonus, and it's only like an hour long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was he badass?
Yeah.
So what was the whole case with like you being a cop?
Oh, that's how the game starts.
Okay.
Literally, the first scene is like, you know how they showed the Joker getting cremated?
Yes.
That's how the game starts, but you're Batman in the crematorium, and you've got to push the fucking button to set Joker ablaze, right? And so you set Joker on fire, and then it starts with the story, and that cop is, he's trying to get some dinner or whatever, and then the Scarecrow fear toxin shit starts.
So this story is in no way canon with like any of the comics.
Of the comics?
Like,
no, not really.
Okay, right.
It's totally not, because once they reveal who the Arkham Knight is, it totally separates itself from the comics.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. So that's dope.
Yeah.
What else were we going to talk about?
That's it.
That's it?
Dude, I think we've been podcasting for like 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our dang show.
Shits to plug?
I do. My name is Downlow'd. That's DOWNLOW''D. You can find me at facebook.com/officialdownload, soundcloud.com/download. Shoot me a tweet at Downlow'd here. Or one thing that I'm going to ask of you guys is oh my God, what am I trying to say? The DJ Mag Top 100 is coming up, so I would really appreciate it if any of our kind listeners would drop me a vote. It's at www.djmag.com. It's not out quite yet, but I'll be posting on my Facebook page and letting you guys know when to vote. I'm going to be giving out a track for free, and I really hope that you guys drop a vote for me. It would really mean a lot. Alex is going to tell you about Macro Records and all of that great, just awesome stuff that we have going on right now.
If you enjoyed the show, we would really appreciate it if you could go on iTunes and leave us a review. It helps get the show into the ears of new listeners, which would... we would really appreciate any help that our listeners can offer in that department. If you want to tweet us at Macro Records and use the hashtag #AskSnoo. Snoo's been on vacation, kind of. Like, he just sits here and, like, he joins us, but without video.
Janine's not on vacation.
It's kind of hard for Snoo to contribute without video because Snoo doesn't... He's kind of a mute.
Well, he just has no desire to speak. He
speaks through body language.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Go to our website, thisismacro.com. It's a hub for all things Macro Records. Everything we do there, including this podcast, it's all in one convenient, nice little source for you guys. And that's it. We'll see you next week.
Good day, sir.
Move your motherfucking feet. Come on, everybody, get down tonight. Go.